Namaste. This is David Hawthorne at astroview.com. Today's the 24th of September 2014. The following is the Vedic astrology reading for Denzel Washington, based on the 28th of December, 1954, at 12:09 a.m. in Mount Vernon, New York. Now, using Vedic astrology from India in the sidereal zodiac, this gives the sixth sign of the zodiac in the first house, and the sixth sign is Virgo. And so the ascendant or rising sign is 14 degrees, 19 minutes of Virgo. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and these people are very perceptive, intellectual, analytical, and communicative. Virgo is an earth sign, and we say that earth sign persons are practical, self-made, truthful, loyal, dutiful, hardworking. Virgo is symbolized as the Virgin, so this is a very pure sign, what we call a sattvic sign. Now in the second house he has the seventh sign of the zodiac, Libra, in the second house of wealth, status, and speech. And he has an exalted Saturn in Libra and Venus in its own sign of Libra in the second house. So Saturn in the second house of speech gives one the ability to measure his words, so he can think before he speaks. And Venus in the second house gives melodic voice, and this is also the house of status in life, and this can give him some status through Venus significations, which includes entertainment and acting. In the third house we have the eighth sign Scorpio. In the fourth house we have the ninth sign Sagittarius. And we have Rahu, the northern node of the moon, at 12 degrees, Sun at 12 degrees, and Mercury at 14 degrees in Sagittarius. Now I know in Western astrology his sun is in Capricorn. That's the tropical zodiac, which is based on the position of the planets more than 2,000 years ago. So on the date of birth, if you asked a Western astrologer for the sun sign, yes, the Western astrologer would say sun is in Capricorn. But if you asked an astronomer, the astronomer would not use the tropical zodiac, but uses the sidereal zodiac, which is 23 degrees earlier, so sun is actually in Sagittarius. Now sun is known as Atma Karaka, significator for the soul, and it's in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of divine grace, good luck, good fortune, wisdom, education, children, family life. So it makes him a do-gooder. He sees the glass as half full, not half empty. And Mercury is also in Sagittarius, so his intellect is connected with knowledge. The soul and the intellect connected with knowledge and good fortune. And both of these are in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, which is in the house of gains and income and friendships and fulfillment of desires. Now the one little pinch here, and it's actually a major pinch, is that Rahu, the northern node of the moon, is at 12 degrees on top of Sun at 12 degrees. This is actually dangerous for Denzel's father. I suspect his father has had some heart issues, cardiovascular issues. But this is also dangerous for Denzel. He needs to watch his cardiovascular system, his heart, his blood pressure, because this is absolutely an eclipse of the heart. We have to be careful. And Rahu is also close to Mercury, which is the planet of speech and communication. So that Rahu can give very magnetic speech, very persuasive speech. So these two are extremely well placed here, but they're both afflicted by Rahu. See, Rahu is close to Mercury, and Mercury rules the chart. Rahu's charisma, fame, fortune, energy, and ambition. But it's also an eclipse, so he has to be careful. He can have an eclipse. He should not take risks and chances in life. No bungee jumping, rock climbing, parachuting, taking chances. This happened to JFK Jr., the Rahu influence. So be careful. So he can actually wear an emerald gemstone to strengthen Mercury, and that would help him with his health and longevity. The royal moon is in the 5th house of education. He has a very good education. And it's in the house of children, very beautiful children. And moon rules this 11th house of gains, and it's in the house of education. So he did gain income through education. He did study the arts and theater. So this is the 5th house, Capricorn, moon in Capricorn. So he does handle his emotional life very earthy, practical, detached. So his rising sign is an earth sign, and moon, the emotional state, is in an earth sign. So very practical, self-made, ambitious, hardworking, truthful, loyal, dutiful. This one's a little problematic. In the 6th house, and we have the 11th sign Aquarius, and Mars is sitting here. This is not a favorable houses. Now I am using systems approach to interpreting horoscopes paradigm as developed by Professor Chowdhury in India, which works quite well for interpreting charts. Under systems approach, we say that Virgo has 4 planets that will never cause harm. These include Mercury ruling the chart, Venus ruling the house of wealth and status, Jupiter ruling the 4th house of parents, property, and home life, and Moon ruling income and friendships. We also say in systems approach that of these 12 houses, this is always the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th house, like that, the 12 houses. Of these 12 houses, 9 are favorable. So the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, 9th, 10th, and 11th houses are the favorable houses. But 3 houses, the 6th, the 8th, and the 12th houses, are Dustan Bhavas, inauspicious houses. Planets ruling these houses can cause adverse effects in the natal chart or in the transit chart, and planets going into those houses become weak. So this Mars is in the 6th house. It is a weak position. This can limit the number of younger brothers. So I don't know how many siblings he has, but I doubt that he has a younger brother. But my concern is that Mars rules this 8th house. And this is the house of inheritance, windfalls, easy money, insurance settlement, and the marital bond, marriage. And it's in the 6th house of conflict, litigation, disputes, bankruptcy, or divorce. So this is a difficult position for Mars. Now, anything in a chart can be fixed, but we have to know what we're looking for and why we're looking for it. So the way we fix Mars, because it rules the 8th house, we can't strengthen it. So he should never wear a red coral gemstone. No Virgo should wear a red coral for Mars. They should not wear any black gemstones or blue sapphires for Saturn, and they should not wear any rubies for the Sun, because Saturn, Mars, and Sun rule the 6th, the 8th, and the 12th houses, which are the Dustan inauspicious houses. We don't strengthen those planets. We do charities for those planets. So for Mars, he can help men who are like brothers on Tuesdays. I know he has some very close male friends who are like brothers, like Lenny Kravitz is a very dear friend of his, for example. So he can help men who are like brothers on Tuesdays. That's a good remedy for the chart. No red coral. In the 7th house, we have the 12th sign Pisces, 8th house, 1st sign Aries, 9th house, 2nd sign Taurus, and here's the 10th house, 3rd sign Gemini. And he has Ketu, the southern node of the moon, in Gemini. This actually turns one to spiritual life. This is the house of karma and professional life and career. And if there's no spiritual component to the career, the person gets detached. So this brings spirituality into karma and professional life. And as it turns out, he is a very devout religious person who reads the Bible just about daily. So he's a very spiritual man. That's K2 in the 10th house. So even at work, he takes his Bible. In the 11th house, he has the fourth sign, Cancer, and this is an exalted Jupiter. This is fantastic. This is the house of gains, income, and friendships, and Jupiter is a planet of luck and good fortune and divine grace. And it rules the fourth house of mother. He's always gained through his mother. And this also gives gains through property. Fourth house is property as well. But Jupiter in the 11th makes a person a guru. He often says, a guru and religious leader. He often says that he thinks he should become a minister. And this is where it's coming from. So he could be a professor, teacher, lawyer, consultant, advisor, publisher, and religious leader. This is exalted Jupiter. He has a very good ability to gain knowledge, to understand knowledge. I also like the fact that Moon and Jupiter are opposite. These are exactly opposite, so they're kendras apart. And when Moon and Jupiter have this kind of relationship, in India it is known as a Gaj Kasari Yoga. Gaja means the elephant, Kasari means the lion, the symbol of aristocracy. So he has this very natural aristocratic gait to him that everybody notices. He's very smooth, very aristocratic, very royal pace. Then in the 12th house we have the fifth sign, Leo, ruled by the sun. So unfortunately for Virgo, Saturn, Mars, and Sun can cause harm. So now we see another problem. Rahu and Sun are both on top of Mercury. Mercury rules the chart. Sun is a malefic planet. Rahu is a malefic planet. They're causing an eclipse of Mercury. So I do think that he definitely has to be vigilant. He can get eclipsed in life, so he should not take risks and chances. In fact, when he goes into his 17-year Mercury main period in August 2020, so that's about 6 years from now, then he really needs to pay attention to his Mercury. So lots of green plants, spend time in lush green environments, and wear an emerald gemstone to strengthen Mercury. For Sun, he should help elderly men on Sundays, and for Rahu, he should help afflicted persons. In India, we would say feed the lepers. So he can donate to charities for afflicted persons, and I'm sure he does that already. So these are the main points in the chart. Mercury is a benefic. He can wear an emerald for Mercury. Venus is a benefic, but it's at 29 degrees. There's only 30 degrees possible. This is almost 30 degrees. This is exact old age. Even though it's in its own sign of Libra, and it's with an exalted Saturn, it is still in old age. And notice Rahu at 12 degrees and Ketu at 12 degrees. They are close to the ascendant at 14 degrees. Now Rahu and Ketu aspect 5, 7, and 9 houses from where they sit. So Rahu has an influence in the 4th house of parents. Oh, by the way, Rahu is causing the eclipse of the Sun, and Sun is father, and I believe his parents divorced when he was quite young, and he was basically raised by his mother. So Rahu has an influence in the 4th house of parents, and on Sun, which is father, and Sun rules the 12th house of loss, so that's loss of father, separation from father. Rahu aspects 5 houses away, so this is the marital bond and inheritance. You can have enormous easy gains and windfalls, but they could go up in smoke. Rahu aspects the 10th house of career. That brings the charisma, fame, and fortune into career. But Ketu is there. So Rahu's desires, Ketu is non-desires. Rahu's material life, Ketu is spiritual life. So I suspect he goes high and low relative to career and even home life. Desire, non-desire. I want, I don't want. So sometimes he wants to have fame and fortune, other times he just wants to be reclusive. Rahu aspects the 5, 7, and 9 houses away, so it aspects the 12th house, which is the 5th sign, Leo. That gives him desire for international fame and fortune and travel. So I think he takes off and goes to some international places. But Rahu could cause an eclipse of him in an international place, foreign land. Ketu does cause some disappointments and setbacks with his career from time to time. It aspects 5, 7, and 9 houses away. So it can bring some setback with continuation of family life, which is why his parents got divorced. It brings some influence into the 4th house. It's important for him to have a place of prayer and meditation at home. And it aspects the 6th house. So this can cause hidden health issues and misdiagnosed health issues. Enemies, false allegations, fire theft, and cheating against him. He has to be careful about people like Bernie Madoff or something. So I'm a little concerned about Rahu and Ketu because they do have this impact. Now, it's not 100% impact. At 14 degrees, it would be 100%. So at 13, it's 80. At 12, it's 60. This is 60% impact of Rahu and Ketu on Mercury and Sun on Mercury. Basically, this Mercury is in what I call a Papakartra Yoga, in the scissors. So he has to be careful about getting cut. So he wears an emerald gemstone, keep lots of green plants in his home and office. You can wear an emerald, you can wear a diamond, you can wear a yellow sapphire, and you can wear a pearl. Those are 4 safe and favorable gemstones. So he was born in a Chandra Mahadasha, moon main period, lasted the first 6 years of his life. Then he had 7 years of Mars. Mars is in the house of competition. Maybe he got into sports, very competitive, but some health issues. So that would be from 6 to 13. At 13, he went into 18 years of Rahu. Rahu gives charisma, fame, fortune, energy, and ambition like nobody's business. So he became very restless and had these very powerful desires. So 13 to 31. Then he ran 16 years of Jupiter from August 85 till August 2001. This is very powerful. Jupiter is exalted in this chart, ruled by Moon in the house of investments, children, mind, education. This is wonderful yoga, symbol of aristocracy. Now he's in his 19 years of Saturn. Now Saturn rules his 6th house, so it's not a favorable planet. But notice that it's extremely well placed and exalted in the 2nd house of wealth, status, speech, and family life. It's not on the rising sign degree, within 5 degrees of it, so it doesn't cause any pinch here. And technically, Venus is just outside the orb of 5 degrees from Saturn. So Saturn is just exalted, which gives longevity of life, truthfulness, loyalty, long-lived accomplishments. And this is in the house of wealth and status and speech, ruled by Venus, which is entertainment, music, the arts, women, romance, affluence. So this is why he has support, even though it's a malefic planet. But he has to be careful because this K2 does aspect his house. So he needs to wear a diamond for Venus, and he needs to take good care of his wife. And this K2 influence on Saturn may cause trouble with his teeth, neck, back, spine, knees, joints, ankles. Could cause some worry and fear and impatience and distrust of others. But I think the fact that he's doing this prayer and he's on a very profound spiritual path, I think this really helps him a lot. Now the current operating planet is Mars from February 2014 till next April 2015. Mars is very competitive, and it's martial arts, and it's in the house of competition and martial arts. And he just finished the movie, The Equalizer, basically about martial arts. Mars is CIA and FBI and Secret Service, and that's all involved in the movie. Next April, he goes into almost 3 years of Rahu, and that can be very great on the one hand, charisma, fame, and fortune. But here I would be concerned about his cardiovascular issue right here. So there's a potential for some heart issue. I do have a remedy for that. If he happens to see this video and he gets in touch with me, I'll give him the remedy to reverse the chance for heart attack and strokes. He'll love this Jupiter period right here, February 2018 to August 2020. Exalted Jupiter in the house of gains, ruled by the royal moon. Beautiful. Probably gain grandchildren during that time. Then he goes into 17 years of Mercury, which is a favorable planet, but it's afflicted, so it has to be strengthened. Now you can also, and this is very important, this is his chart at the time of birth. This is his chart where the planets are today. So you always want to get into the habit of watching the transits. And you don't have to chase all 9 planets. They move, some of them move quickly, so we don't worry on them. But do watch the Jupiter. It takes 12 months to go through a sign. Watch Rahu and Ketu. That takes 18 months to go through a sign. And Saturn takes 2.5 years to go through a sign. So you definitely want to watch those, the transits of those planets. So Jupiter, look at Jupiter's return to its natal position. And Saturn has returned to its natal position. It takes Saturn 30 years to go through the zodiac. So this is the second time that Saturn has come back to its natal position. And he's going to turn 60 in December. And Jupiter's back to its natal position. It takes 12 years, so this is the 5th time for Jupiter. This is a very powerful time. I actually heard an interview where he said he was not going to do much in the way of a birthday, and that's really a big mistake. On your 60th birthday, because of this powerful double transit, return of Saturn, return of Jupiter, we need to celebrate. We absolutely need to celebrate. So he should have a big celebration to honor himself and to honor this change of life. Let me tell you something. When a person turns 60, they can go up or down. And a classic example of this is Richard Nixon was 60 years old when he was forced to resign office. And he was replaced by Gerald Ford, who was also 60 years old. So one man went up, one man went down. So we want Denzel, who's every man's hero, to go up, not down. So Jupiter is currently in his house of gains and income and good fortune. So he's got these movies come out, and he's doing quite well in theater and another movies he's working on. I think he's going to start doing a movie, I think The Magnificent Seven or something like that is coming up next, a cowboy movie. And we watch Saturn. Saturn's at 25 degrees. This Saturn has just gone over his natal Saturn, and it's at 25, it's going to be 26, and it's going to get up to 29. So this transit Saturn is going to go over his Venus. And that could cause some controversy, some disputes, and even some health problems for his wife, because Venus rules wife and Saturn rules the 6th house of health issues and conflicts and mental tension. It'll be relatively short-lived, but definitely middle of October to middle of November, it'll be right on top of Venus, which is not so easy or ideal. So if he could wear a diamond gemstone, it would be good. Rahu and Ketu are at 25 degrees and even signs. See, Rahu's in Virgo, that's an even sign. See, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, those are the even signs. Ketu's in Pisces, an even sign. So slide him over here. Take Rahu at 25, put him here, and he aspects 5, 7, and 9 houses away. That's pretty good. His rising sign's not 25 degrees. His moon's not 25 degrees. Nothing at 25. Let's look at Ketu. Slide him over here. He aspects 5, 7, and 9 houses away. So Rahu and Ketu are causing no problem for him, and that does reduce the chance for grave mishaps and misfortunes. Okay, these are the main points from the chart for Denzel Washington, and of course, we wish him all the best in health, happiness, and prosperity. Namaste.